How y'all doing? You all right today?
Hey, thank you. And thank you for stopping by to Clink. Let me just take a sip.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wine spritzer. It's fruit punch.
I like it. Got a little fizz.
Little carbonation going on. You know? So, thank you for stopping by. And you guys know that we are a couple of friends. She is
Cam.
and I am Kay, and we are just a couple of we're friends. We are
Sister girls.
We're filmmakers. We're creatives, and we just come on here and we like to talk about different topics and
talk our ish.
Y'all. Okay. So this is the Sip and Chat edition, and don't forget to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, right?
Go in that little corner, click. Be
click. All right, y'all. So before every Sip and Chat episode, well, not before every episode, but before we get into the main topic, we like to go into our conversation card just so you all can get to know us a little bit better, you know? So
getting to know us is a good thing.
Getting to know you. Getting to know about you
and me, Cam and Kay. That's what you're trying to get to know.
Right. All right. Okay.
You see, this is totally live. This is live. This is live.
Oh, okay. What is something you wish people knew about you? I know, isn't it it's kind of
it's like something you kind of need to think about.
A loaded question.
Like you need to chew it. I don't know. I don't know what I think I would want. Something you would want people to know about me.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I can think of is I love God.
What's
wrong with you?
I cannot
think of anything. I think what I would like people to know about me that comes to the top of my head is that I am a genuine person. What you see is what you get, but once you get to know me, you would really know that I'm a very sweet, genuine person. I think a lot of times I'm guarded, but you get to know me, I'm just a ball of mushy love. I just want to heal the world and for everybody to be healed and whole and get along. And I'm a peacemaker, and I also see the world. My mother used to always tell me, you see the world through rose-colored glasses, which means I like to always see things on the positive side. I want to find the positive side of things in just about every situation, because I think there is always something positive, or something positive can come out of something negative, depending on how you spin it, how you look at it, and how you deal with it.
I get genuine from you, though.
Thank you.
You come off as genuine. You don't come off as like phony or fake or anything like that. So.
Oh, I appreciate that. And girl, I like your hair, girl. My sis is beautiful, okay? She has come and, she's glowing today. I'm like, she always is fab, okay? Because that's my fashionista. That's my girl. But honey, that hair is popping. You are giving me the thing.
Thank you. Big hair don't care. And my sis did it. Hello. Yeah. It's nice to have talented friends, okay? Because I do not.
But I wasn't saying that for her to say that. But I love you. Thank you. But I'm also enjoying your new addition to your life. Your nose.
Oh my God,
so cute. Girl, you made me want to go put a little dot right on it. And I'll be like, why she copying? I ain't got enough nerves. See, Kay is the adventurous one. Me, I'll go get one of those stickers and be like, temporary. Because I changed my mind too much, but she will commit. She has committed. But you look, girl, you fly. My girl fly. Hey.
I'm just trying to be like you, girl.
I'm trying to be celebrating. But you just, I really do love that look. It looks great.
Thank you so much.
She cute. All right. But anyway, so.
Better recognize. So, what I wish that people, knew about me, and I think it's only people that's really close to me that knows this, but how big my heart is. I have a big heart. I'm just a big pile of mush, when it comes to, the people I love and care about. And I'm very sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive.
That's how we get along. We just over here like, you are very sensitive, and when you love hard.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. But like for people on the surface, like just looking at me, they don't see that because, like being an introvert, it's layers to us. We don't show everybody us.
Just like an onion,
So.
And then also, I think it's we do have, like I said, we have to protect ourselves because when you are a very loving and genuine person, it's a lot of nasty, mean people in the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to kind of pull back and open that door when it's time to open that door. Because sometimes, like I said, we can be a little guarded. Mm-hmm. But she is genuine. She is sweet. And I have watched you love on the people in your life. And you're very loving and very kind. Oh, and that's probably why we get along.
Right.
That's a wonderful trait to have.
Thank you. It is. Oh, okay. Here's another one. Mm-hmm. This is self-explanatory, probably. Okay. Do you enjoy social drinking when you go out?
Let me tell you.
You know what? I know I do, and it was like a long time where I didn't drink for very few reasons, and I do. The only time I drink is like when I'm out.
Right.
I don't really. I have stuff in my refrigerator I had since my last birthday. Because I don't drink it like that.
And when we do our sip and chats, a lot of times we be drinking water.
I drink water. I drink water if I'm not feeling well or something like that. But
we both didn't drink for a very long time. That was one of the things we had in common. We talk, be like, "Girl, I don't drink. You don't drink. We don't drink either." But I think I will drink if socially. Yeah. But I also want to just always be aware, so I just make sure that I stay within my limits. Because I get teased that you a lightweight. If I have one drink, I be like,
if she has one sip, I'm surprised she didn't say, "Ooh, I feel it." With the one little sip, because she is a lightweight. Me, on the other hand, I have a high tolerance, but I know my limits. I don't go over.
That's why she don't drive. That's why she don't drive. Yes, but I think it's very ugly for a woman to be sloppy and drunk.
Anybody though,
yeah, but too. It is. It's very when somebody is inebriated and they're out of control. And I think for me, both of us, we don't want to be out of control. We always want to present ourselves as the lovely ladies that we are.
That's right. Full of class.
Yes.
And a whole lot of. All right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What you gonna talk about, girl?
We wanna know what I'm watching.
Girl, you always are watching something. So let me rephrase that. Hey, so what are you watching, girl?
All right, y'all. So remember last time on this segment, I told y'all I was, watching my reality baking competition shows and cooking shows. So this time I am watching a couple of things, but what I really want to get out and tell people, I just discovered this show. It's in its third season now. It's on Bounce TV, which is free. Okay, it's on regular TV.
We like the Bounce.
And it's on cable, I believe, too. So it's on Bounce, but I actually, because I watched the first two seasons on Bounce 2 weeks ago. And I got the app, the Brown Sugar app, because I want to watch the new season.
So what's the name of the show?
Yep, the name of the show is called Johnson. I just want to read a synopsis to tell y'all what it's about. This is it's so good, y'all. I want everybody to watch this. So it's called Johnson. So it's 4 black men. You have Omar, you have Greg, Keith, and Jarvis. They met in grade school and they have been best friends ever since, right? Mm-hmm. And they all just so happen to have the same last name. That's why it's called Johnson.
Oh, that's a nice play on
I know, right? Johnson, no relation. And same name Johnson. They're not related. No relation.
Okay.
So after 25 years of friendship, they are finding themselves in vastly different places in their lives, threatening the unity that has always been so strong. They confront and find humor in the most current and controversial social issues from the black man's perspective, ranging from love, marriage, business, politics, and religion. Y'all, this show, when I tell you it's good, it's so good that I want to meet the creator, because the creator of the show, he also writes every episode and he plays one of the 4 friends. He plays Greg, and I want to meet him. I want us to interview him. So we're going to find a way somehow.
Just to get some, because I'm quite sure many gems that he could drop and teach us and we could learn from him.
I just want to just ask him questions, interview him about this show because it is so good. And again, it's from the black man's perspective. Each friend, they're going through something and going through something with each other. You have one friend, he went off to an Ivy League school and came back, married to a white woman. Okay. And then you have one, he's in the tech field. He's married, but he's separated from his wife. You have another guy who is like the creative of the group. He's a photographer. And then you have the creator of the show. He plays Greg, and he's just all over the place with his life, right? His life when it starts. So it is so good, y'all. I'm telling you.
Well, honey, we're going to have to watch Johnson, honey, on Bounce because, honey, you sitting here, you like, she is so vested. She's like, she be calling me like, girl, this show is just wonderful. So I guess I'm going to start watching it and catch up so we can maybe do a review about that.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Okay, so Johnson.
So Johnson on Bounce TV. It comes on Saturday nights. If you want to catch it live at 8, and I believe they play it like back to back. And then again, if you like want to catch it, you can download the Bounce app. Everybody, that's a free app, like on your smart TV. They have the first 2 seasons you can watch, and it's really good, y'all. Take my word for it.
And with that being said, today our main topic is going to be about, since last time we talked about daddy issues. We wanted to level the playing field and talk about mommy issues or issues people have with their mother.
Yes, especially, when it comes to men. I don't know if you've ever dated somebody that had mommy issues. I know I have. And it can be something.
Yeah, when you use the term mommy issues, it can go from, oh my gosh, it's very deep, because when mothers are raising children, there is no handbook on how to raise children. You do the best you can, how you can with what you have. And as a single mother, it is hard to, you're trying to find a balance. You're trying to, just get this young man together, but it can be kind of difficult when you don't have that male energy to give to that young man, because boys do need their fathers.
Yeah. So I found this article just to give you guys some context as far as like how men who have mommy issues, how they can affect their relationships with you. And one of them is difficulty establishing intimate relationships. So this is a toxic relationship with his mother may lead a man to struggle with trusting people in the future, especially female romantic partners. He may be exceptionally anxious and clingy towards his partner, or he may be extremely avoidant. or dismissive, or he may have mixed attachment style, sometimes called a disorganized attachment style.
I think that's totally accurate in its description, because a lot of times you can meet a man and they always say, watch how a man's relationship is with his mother. I've always heard that. Watch how he interacts with her. That's why it's kind of like a red flag when a man doesn't take you around his family, because you won't know who he is or who he is or why he is the way he is if you're not around his family. Or, because I think it's a lot of pressure sometimes with young men when they're raised by their mothers, because you're trying to find that balance. You don't want to be a mama's boy, but you do want to love her. But at the same time, you're still trying to discover who you are as a man and how to navigate through life.
Yeah, especially like what they're saying, if he has a toxic relationship with his moms.
You got an example of that?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah, so somebody I dated pretty much had a toxic relationship with his mother. Yeah, like hands thrown, mom's doing it and all that kind of stuff. And she called the police, put him in jail, all that kind of stuff.
Wow, it's like that's deep, because it's like, what was going on with her that but sometimes you can't poke the bear. And I'm just gonna say that it is never right to put your hands on a woman or anyone, but sometimes some mothers can be very provoking. I've grown up with cousins and just different people in my life, and sometimes women, when male children reach a certain age, they're so busy trying to continue to control them that they get physical with them. And as we all know, that when a young man gets about 14, 15, he gets strength, and you really are no match for him, because he is becoming into his manhood. And I think a lot of men struggle because you, like you said, want to love your mom, but you don't want to be a mama's boy, because you're still trying to figure out who you are as a man. And sometimes women cannot, we don't know how to differentiate or understand what a young male is going through, because we're not men. So it's hard, because sometimes some women try to keep that boy who is growing into a man, a boy, and keep him submissive to her. And that's very toxic.
Yeah. But back, with the men having the issues, it said a man with mommy issues may struggle to be vulnerable with his romantic partner out of fear of abandonment, because we know like that's a deep thing, that's a real thing too, especially if the mother is not very affectionate or loving towards her son. That can have a great impact on his relationships with his romantic partners, because he don't know how to show that.
Yeah. I've had some male friends tell me that they are very standoffish, have been, like you're saying, in relationships with women because their mothers didn't know how to show them affection. And sometimes, in one instance, the man was telling me, well, my mother, she was very cold towards me because I reminded her of my father. And so that's where his mommy issues comes, because she was always comparing him as a young man to his father and saying, well, your daddy wasn't this, and so you're not going to be this, that, and the third. And we have to stop projecting our experiences on our children that don't have anything to do with them.
Okay. So another trait or a sign that a man has mommy issues is infidelity. It said men with mother issues may be more likely to cheat on their romantic partners due to their unstable relationship with their mother in childhood. If they were abandoned or neglected by their mother growing up, they may experience an emotional void as an adult that they may struggle to fill with their romantic partner. They may cheat to try to fill that void. A man with mommy issues may also struggle with feeling of entitlement if their mother was overindulging or controlling when he was a child, and therefore his Infidelity may be a result of his selfishness. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just very for women, and especially if you're a single mother, or period, just as a woman trying to find the balance in raising your children and trying to find the balance between what your life and your children's life sometimes can be a struggle. And maybe, kids don't always say, well, mommy, I need more of your time. They may act out, but sometimes parents don't always pick up on the fact that that young man or that girl needs more time with you because they don't know how to express it. Mm-hmm. That's why counseling is so important.
So important. It's so important. So that makes sense though. A lot of times, when men who have mommy issues, they're out there being buck wild and cheating and all that kind of stuff is, because they it's like the article said, it's because that their own mothers like either neglected them or they was like really controlling, and it's just, even though it's not an excuse, but but still, you can see why certain things happen.
And that's why as women we have to really be careful again when we're raising these kids. And then when I say raise, I mean you could be an aunt, you can be just a mentor to a child, but we have to make sure that we don't take our experiences that were negative and project them onto the children, because children learn what they live. And so what can happen, especially with young men, a mother's trying to raise him, but she's trying to balance all these things, and she doesn't know that he needs her more because maybe he's not expressing it. Maybe he shuts down. And a lot of times a woman won't know that her son is having these issues until he's an adult, because there's no book on how to do this, to how to be a perfect parent.
Yeah. Yeah, and I read another article. It says like men who have mommy issues too, they're either, and this is kind of like women with daddy issues too. Mm-hmm. They either date an older woman, extremely older, or extremely younger. Older for obvious reasons, they're looking for that mother figure, and younger is because they don't want to really commit. Yeah, have that commitment, because if it's a significant age gap, it's like, come on.
Because if she's younger, he can control her and he can manipulate her. And then if she's older, he may be looking for that mothering figure, because an older woman generally is going to be like, hey, this is what's up, this is how it's going to be, and so that's strength. So maybe that's what he's looking for. Maybe
Yeah. Okay, so another one is oversensitivity to criticism. A man who was excessively coddled by his mother may grow up hypersensitive to any sort of criticism, especially criticism from his romantic partner. Valid complaints, even gently worded critiques, may be met with defensiveness, stonewalling, and even aggression. Yes, 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 and yes.
Yes, yes,
I've and more. Experienced this again. And it's like with criticism, the person I was dating, he thought I was again being like defensive. I was like, no, just having a regular chat. And and it's like you don't want to deal with people like that because you don't want to feel like you're walking on freaking eggshells, in your relationship.
And you should be able to give each other constructive criticism or say the things that bother you. I think also when a man is hypersensitive, when a woman comes to him and is trying to express herself and say, hey, I feel this way about this, or I'm having this problem, they don't want to deal with it at all. It's like, oh my gosh, you're being super sensitive. You're
nagging, or you no, I'm bringing an issue to you,
and
so we can work this out.
Or if I'm telling you how I feel, and you're not used to somebody communicating their feelings to you, then you want to shut down or shut me out, and that's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Girl. Another one is excessive caretaking. So it says, while some men's mommy issues may manifest as extreme neediness and a lack of independence, A man who was forced to take care of his mother as a child may struggle with excessive caretaking tendencies as an adult. He may treat romantic partners, especially female romantic partners, how he treated his mother, like a child. Ooh, Lord.
One thing I was in a relationship where it was a guy who his mother was very overbearing. I think she almost made him feel like he had. Women have to stop telling their sons, who are their sons, you have to be the man of the household, because sometimes you're telling this young boy that he has to be the man of the household. So if he's seeing his mother struggle, that's what has turned a lot of our black men to the streets, because he's heard over and over that you're the man of the household. And what does a man do? A man provides. So therefore, you're telling this child you're putting the ideal in his mind that he has to provide. And so now he's scrambling about doing things that he's not mature enough and making decisions he's not mature enough to make, because he's thinking that he has to help his mother financially. I've seen that happen in our community with a lot of men who ended up in the streets or ended up in gangs or different things, doing illegal things to make money, because they felt the pressure from seeing their mother struggle or hearing her say certain things that triggered in him that he had to go out and try to be this man and provide for his mother, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I do have a few more, but I just want to say, like, man, you're watching this, and we just want you to be better. Be better for the person that you're with, that you're about to be with, because get yourself some help, because you'll be damaging these women out here because of the issues that you have, and because hurt people. So
they do.
We don't want y'all, running around here, damaging, these women out here. So, number 7 is estrangement from his mother. Says mommy issues are often characterized by an extreme relationship to the mother, either over attachment or intense detachment. If a man with mommy issues isn't overly close with his mother, he may be extremely distant from her, even to the point of estrangement. He may avoid discussing his childhood or aspects of his upbringing out of reluctance to revisit memories of his mother.
I think also, just to bring it full circle, there are a lot of women with mommy issues as well.
Right, but we talk about the men, because we talked about the men, the ladies last
But we did daddy issues more,
yes.
but we
talk about the women with daddy issues.
I know, but just to bring it back around, some women do have issues with their mothers as well. But again, there's no perfect parent. And when people are trying to raise kids and you're trying to mentor kids or whatever, there's no formula that works for every person. It's just not. So people are trying to figure it out as we're going along. But I think the whole detachment for a man from women because of his mother, I think that's a very true statement. Because if he didn't feel loved and nurtured by her, he doesn't know how to give it. Right. He doesn't know how to love and nurture. So I say this, we say men get help, but also women with children. Women, period, you need to get help too. Because we are the ones, even if it's not your child, who knows, the child may look up to you, whether you're a teacher, a mentor to that child or whatever. I think our whole community just needs to get help and heal.
Yeah, especially like heal before anybody, men, women, heal before you get into some type of romantic serious relationship, because you don't want to be hurting the other person and in turn hurting yourself as well.
Yep. Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that again, like you say, counseling is a beautiful thing, and we can't express that enough. I've been to counseling myself in different things that I've gone through. Like when I got divorced, I went to counseling even when I was raising my son to try to get a perspective to make sure that I was doing it right. And if you're when in doubt, ask.
Yeah.
Ask your mother, ask other people in your life, and if you don't feel comfortable talking to them, talk to an outside source.
Professional.
Sometimes it's easier to talk to a professional than it is somebody in your family.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, you can be more open with somebody who don't know you.
And on the other side of the phone.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about is lack of respect for women. So if a man is disdainful or resentful towards women, including his romantic partner, it may stem from a toxic mother-son relationship. He may have carried his relationship with his neglectful, controlling, humiliating, or in other ways toxic mother over into to adulthood, and displace his loathing of his mother onto his romantic partner and women in general. Many men who mistreat or think lowly of women may, in fact, not disrespect women, but just one woman, their mother. They may take their frustrations out on the women in their lives. And that is so true. That is so true. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Like you have these men that be running through women, disrespecting them and this and that. That's because they, again, have that toxic relationship with their mother.
And sometimes I think we have to do a self-check to see if we have these toxic traits, because sometimes men and women they jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and they never give themselves a chance to sit back and take inventory on their feelings, on their thought process, or how they're engaging with others. And so it's a coping mechanism to just like drinking. When you trying to cope with something, some people drink. When some people are trying to cope with something, they jump from relationship to relationship. Like, okay, well, this relationship didn't work out. And I've heard people even use the term like, well, honey, the best thing to do when you're trying to get over a woman or a man is get another one.
Yeah, under another one. That kind of mess. I mean, that might be a temporary fix, but when you done, you still gonna have those same issues. Yeah, you still gonna feel empty and have those same issues.
Yeah. So we just want to say, if you are feeling any type of way of feelings of abandonment, feel like you have mommy issues as a man, it's okay to go get help. It's okay.
I say go get help. Please go get help.
Yes, be it from your church, be it from a professional psychiatrist. Go get help.
Yeah.
Talk about it. There are men groups out there that you can talk to with other men who are going through the same issues that you are.
Yep. And ladies, before you start dating somebody, ask how that relationship with his mother is, because it can be some red flags.
Yeah.
It can be some red flags because he may not be healed from that, or he may not have gotten help regarding that, and it's going to have a horrible, toxic relationship.
Yes.
That you don't want.
And get to know people, because sometimes in first couple of months they can act like they are like a straight up angel, but then they can have deep rooted issues. I dated a guy once when I was a teenager. He was nice to me. He had a nice car. He was going to school to be an engineer. Everything on the surface was like really great. I was like, oh my gosh, he's wonderful. Then one day we went out and he flipped on me, and I was like, whoa, I was like, okay, I'm not understanding what's going on. And then he proceeded to tell me some things about his childhood with his mother. And it wasn't good. He said that he tried to push his mom down the stairs. And he was telling me all this stuff because people, for whatever reason, they feel comfortable talking to me. And I was sitting there like, you need to take me home, because he acted like he crazy, but okay, she don't have time for this. And I remember after that happened, I didn't want to see him anymore. My mother was like, he's such a nice boy. I'm like, no, he got issues. He had serious mommy issues. And at the time, it just popped in my head. I wasn't young. I didn't know how to identify the toxicity that he was going through. So for younger ladies, if you come across this conversation that we're having, if you notice that a man is toxic, even if he hasn't met his mother, he could be untruthful or lie to you and say him and his mother have a great relationship, because there's a lot of people out here that are actors. They can get an Academy Award. So you just have to really be careful and give yourself time. You don't have to rush into anything.
Yes. And men, again, we cannot stress enough. Get the help, get help. And I know that a lot of men, they may have mother figures. They grew up with mother figures, like their grandmothers, aunties, in their lives. But it's like we talked about with having daddy issues. You might have that as well, and it may not be as toxic as some of these traits, but it's just a little something. Still go and seek that out and get some help.
So we want to thank you all for joining us on this edition of our Sip and Chat.
Yes.
And us talking about mommy issues.
Yep. So we will see you all next week. And until then, find you something to sip and
call your sister girl and chat.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.